ക്വീൻ വിക്ടോറിയ മെമ്മോറിയലിന് മുമ്പിലാണ് നമ്മൾ കൽക്കട്ടയിൽ.
This is actually a memorial for Queen Victoria.
At the expense of the Indians, a beautiful memorial, a palace is built in the name of Queen Victoria, right?
Yeah.
I think that England has to look up to it and show us something that you have built in memory of ruling us for the last 100 years. Nalan China. നമസ്കാരം, നിങ്ങളുടെ നളൻ ഷൈൻ. കൽക്കട്ടയിലാണ്, വിക്ടോറിയ മെമ്മോറിയലാണ് പിറകിൽ കാണുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ വിശേഷങ്ങൾ അറിയാം. ജോയിൻ മീ. ഇത് മിസ്റ്റർ കപിൽ. ഈസ് മൈ ടൂർ ഗൈഡ് ഫ്രം രാജ്ഭവൻ ആൻഡ് ലെറ്റ്സ് ലിസൺ ടു ദി സ്റ്റോറി ഓഫ് ദി വണ്ടർഫുൾ बिल्डिंग कॉल्ड विक्टोरिया मेमोरियल. थैंक यू.
ये सर एक्चुअली महारानी विक्टोरिया का याद में बनाया गया था. फुली मेड बाय मार्बल.
Marble, okay. So beautiful. I think many people come to see the place.
Yes,
now,
yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
All these are pilgrimage or what?
Yes, sir. Pilgrimage.
Okay, all right. So I have a guide here, all right, again a Rani.
So my name is Chandrani.
Chandrani.
Welcome to the Victoria Memorial Hall.
Right?
So this is the southern end, that is the northern end. So I'll just quickly take you to the northern end.
Okay.
So that is where mostly people enter from. This is actually a memorial for Queen Victoria.
Victoria.
Okay, and she's never come to India in her whole life.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a memorial built in her memory after her death.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so just like the Taj.
Okay.
Okay, and she's never visited India, but since she was the Queen Empress of India and Kolkata back then was the capital, they built it in her memory. Okay, so this where you're standing, this is the entrance hall. As you can see,
So
there
this
are
is Queen Victoria.
no.
No.
So that's George V, Queen Victoria's
V.
grandson,
Okay.
and that is that's George V's wife.
Why?
Okay.
What's her name?
So it's written there, Mary. You have these beautiful black and white pictures. This is the construction of the Victoria Memorial Hall from 1911 to 21. So all the pictures that you will see, these are all construction of the memorial.
Okay.
Okay.
How many years it took to build this?
So technically the foundation stone that's there, I'll show you later on when we go to that side. It was laid in the year 1906. Okay, but you will see the construction actually, it's been written 1911 to 21. The construction actually took place within 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, but since the foundation stone was laid in 1906, we technically say 15 years. Okay, but the real construction started 1911 onwards. So we 10 years around.
And who was in charge for this?
So there was a company involved called Messrs. Martin and Company. Okay, those who that company took the tender to building this place, and there were two owners. So one co-owner was a Bengali guy called Rajendranath Mukherjee. You have a statue in the southern part of the gardens, that
Okay.
side where you entered from. There's a statue
At
of
that
his.
time, is it King rules or like?
Yeah, of course. Independence was 1947, so it was all under the Britishers' rule. And while they were constructing this in Kolkata, I told you why they chose this, because this was the capital. But by the time they were building this, the capital got shifted to Delhi.
Delhi.
Okay. So this is the entrance hall. There are 5, as you can see, 1, 2. There's one central hall, and on the other side there are 2 more galleries, out of which one is temporarily closed.
One is
Temporarily closed.
temporarily good. Why it is closed?
So we had an exhibition for about 2 years on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So they are again curating different galleries.
It's
Okay?
written there the gift of His Highness the Aga Khan.
So these are all statues which were all either gifted or either made, or the money was paid by different princes and the
So who
peoples
was
of
Aga
India.
Khan?
So one of the maybe local kings here.
Local
okay?
kings.
So he must have paid money, gifted it. And all the money that you're seeing, which was required to build this place, 1 crore 5 lakhs back then, it was all given by the Indians.
Indians.
Yeah, all given by the Indians.
On the expense of the Indians, a beautiful memorial, a palace is built in the name of Queen Victoria, right?
Yeah.
I think that England has to look up to it and show us something that you have built in memory of ruling us for the last 100 years. Nalan China.
This is the Royal Gallery. So it
Royal
is-
Gallery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is all paintings of the 18th and the 19th century. So all the painters that you will be seeing are mostly all European painters. Okay, but the paintings are all of India.
Okay.
This is the original model. That's the name of the architect. His name is William Emerson. Okay. And as you can see, this is the model, and there's a painting of the Taj.
Wow.
Okay. So if you look at both of these together side by side, do you see any similarity?
Very much. Very
Yeah,
much. Very much.
there is. So the dome, it's an onion-shaped dome. The dome here is also onion-shaped. You have 4 towers, but
Okay.
they are attached to the building. For Taj Mahal, it's not attached. So the architect, he was actually very inspired by the Taj. But when he was asked that, hey, did you take any inspiration from anywhere? What do you think he said?
He said it's our own idea. Right? Yeah.
Yes. He said it's an accidental repetition.
Okay.
It's absolutely.
Yeah, see, I'll tell you something. Maybe it is true because maybe in his subconscious mind, even without his knowledge, what he loved will get registered. And when you bring out through his pen, that the subconscious mind will start writing it through the pen, even without your knowledge.
Yeah.
So that happens normally. So we cannot blame Mr. Emerson that.
No.
Yeah. I'm just telling you, it could be.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
could be an accident, but for sure, it's an inspiration for sure.
Absolutely.
Because why? Because the moment I am living in this place for maybe 10 years, and I go back to Kerala and I want to make a house, by default,
I would want something like that.
that's why.
So they used to call this the Taj of the Raj.
Oh,
So the Taj of the British Empire.
okay. Taj of the Taj. No.
Taj of the Raj.
Raj. Taj
Okay.
of the Raj.
So the only thing that we have on display of hers is this piano, which belonged to her. So she was just 10 years old when she had gotten it. So 1829, 1819 is the year she was born. And so this was shipped from Windsor Castle to India. And this is the only thing of hers that is on display at VMH.
Victoria, Queen Victoria's piano.
Yeah. This is Jama Masjid.
Jama Masjid, okay.
Okay, so we have, so this painter, so these are the names of the painters which are mentioned on the boards. So he's a European painter, and there are two, like this is the one of the copies.
There's a
ano-
copy actually. The original
Yeah,
is...
no, no. So he made two paintings.
Oh, okay.
So one of the copies, it's here. This is the bigger one. And
Where's
this-
the original one?
So there's another copy which is there in the Bristol Museum in London.
Oh, they took it from here.
Yeah, they.
So the original is not here. We only have the copy.
No, this is the original. So he made like two paintings of the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
but-
by the same painter.
See, yeah, but my question here is, Roderick Mackenzie,
Yeah.
is this Roderick Mackenzie's
Yes,
original
yes,
painting?
yes, absolutely.
Still live, the paints are all...
So this is all restored.
Restored?
Yes, of course. So all the paintings that you're seeing, they've all been restored. This one in particular
But this
took.
is the original painting of...
So what you're seeing, all the oil paintings, they are all originals. Okay, and
So this is Jama Masjid and this one?
this is, he said Jaipur.
Jaipur.
Okay, so you know Jaipur is called the Pink City. So this man in red, that's Queen Victoria's son.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when he had come to Jaipur, the entire city was painted pink for him. And why pink out of all the colors? Because pink was said to be the color of hospitality. Okay, so since then Jaipur is called the Pink City. It's done by a Russian painter.
It was done by a Russian painter
Yeah. So his name is Vasily Vereshchagin.
in 1876.
Yeah.
So we also got Russians here.
So he was there, and of course there was no camera available. So he must have made a small sketch of the painting, gone back to his country and painted it. And it took him around 6 years.
To finish this.
And what you're seeing is that how does it still look so lively?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all due to the restoration unit, those who have done a fabulous job.
And also it's written Prince of Wales, Sir Alfred Elliot,
And
His Highness Maharaja
of Jaipur.
And why it is pink? Because pink is the color of hospitality. That's good.
So how are you feeling inside the museum? Let
Hi.
me ask you a
Of
few
course. I've been
questions.
to Mysore Palace.
Okay.
I've been to Taj. The most influential palace in my life was the Mysore Palace.
Okay.
It was so beautiful that whenever you stand in the entrance part, you will feel a wind is traveling. So it was built according to the wind direction,
Oh.
without any fan. Like you have a fan here, right? But in Mysore Palace, there's
You won't feel hot
You will
inside.
stand here, suddenly you will get the heat of the air. You go to the next darwaza, right? Again, you will get the heat of the air. So it was so beautiful, so exciting, so beautiful, wonderful technology in that olden days. Wow, like a Maharaja. And my tagline is "Dine like a king."
Oh.
Yeah.
So the foundation stone laid by the grandson, 4th of January 1906. Contributions, I told you, 1 crore 5 lakhs, all given by the Indians.
By-
And
what is HRH?
so His Royal Highness.
Oh, His Royal Highness.
And before they built this place, there was a jail here called the Presidency Jail, entirely demolished, and this was built. Now that jail is near a place called Baruipur, okay, which is not very far from here. Okay, you see this statue here. So this is her statue when she was just 18 years old.
Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
So that
Geographically,
is the Queen Victoria's statue. That was also done in 1837 to 1901. Wow.
so 1837, 1901 is the years she reigned
Reign.
as a queen.
So how many years it took to build this statue?
This must have taken a lot of time.
Yeah, because
So-
the painting 6 years.
Yeah.
It's also
And-
completely in marble, right?
Absolutely. So the entire building is marble cladded. The statues are marble.
These are Rajasthan marble or?
Yes. So initially, you know, when they thought of building this, they thought of getting the marble from Greece because
Greece.
because the quality would be good. It would look very white, but they settled with
Rajasthan.
marble, because they did not have the funds to get the marble from Greece.
Yeah, I think the architect preferred it from Greece so that, it will be very much iconic than Taj Mahal. But Taj Mahal didn't permit it.
So it's said that apparently the same marble is being used. Okay, but I have heard, I've never been to Taj either. I've heard that the marble in Taj is a lot more whiter.
You should. And also that once the sun reflects on the marble, on different times, the color changes.
Oh.
Yeah, a photographer told me that it 500 photographs plus, still you see Taj in different dimensions. I think Queen Victoria is being tipped by the people who have come here to see her. It only happens in India.
So a lot of them, think of this as a temple.
Temple, okay.
Okay, so people from rural areas, they sometimes open their shoes and come in, thinking it's a temple maybe. And sometimes they touch the feet of the queen, thinking maybe she's a deity. And we tell them, no, she's not a deity.
You can see some coins left there. But the
Yeah.
coins are out of it around there. The message of the Queen Empress Victoria on assuming the title of Empress of India at the proclamation Darbar, Delhi, January 1st, 1877. We trust that the present occasion may tend to unite in bonds of yet closer affection ourselves and our subjects, that from the highest to the humblest, all may feel that under one rule, the great principles of liberty, equity, and justice are secured to them, and that to promote their happiness, to add to their prosperity, and advance their welfare are the ever-present aims and objects of our empire. Britishar എഴുതിയേക്കുന്നതാണ്. This is why maybe history is something that's a big lie repeatedly told. അല്ലേ 1947 അടിച്ചും മത്സരിച്ചും ദുഃഖിച്ചുമൊക്കെയാണ് വേദനിച്ചും ജീവൻ കൊടുത്തും വാങ്ങിച്ച സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിന് മുമ്പ് എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഇതൊക്കെ സംഭവിച്ചിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഒരുപക്ഷെ ഇതൊക്കെ വേറെ രീതിയിലായത്.
So this is the part where you entered from.
Yeah.
So do you see something different about this part of the building?
It's a little dark. That has more light.
Yes, okay. That's there, but I'm talking about the material.
Yeah, because it's not marble.
It's not marble, it's sandstone.
Sandstone.
Okay?
Sandstone.
Yeah, sandstone. And why they use sandstone, we do not know.
Okay.
So this
Maybe
is,
the marble was not sufficient enough.
and yeah, that could be one of the reasons. Another reason could be because World War I had started in India. Maybe they ran out of money and labor, because they were supplying most of the labor for the wars. So this gallery, it's called the Darbar Hall.
Darbar Hall, where the meetings happens.
But I told you that.
Nothing happened till then.
So this is also an assumption that when they were building this, maybe they had thought of building a darbar for a different purpose. But by the time they ended up constructing it, it was used as a memorial and as a museum. So this gallery, it has an exhibition on these two men, Thomas and William Daniel.
They are also, I think, grandsons of Queen Victoria.
They are painters.
Painters.
Okay, uncle and nephew.
Okay.
Okay,
From England.
from England. So British Europeans, and they lived in India for a long time, 7, 8, 10 years. They went all over India and they made beautiful paintings. This memorial has the largest collection of
How did these paintings end up here?
So all collections, most of them were made during Victoria's time. A lot of them were given in her name, and that's how. And then of course gifts, donations. That is how it's ended up in the collections of VMH.
തോമസ് ആൻഡ് വില്യം ഡാനിയലിൻ്റെ പെയിൻറ്റിങ്സ് ആണ്. അവർ മൊത്തം ഇന്ത്യ ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്തിട്ട് വരച്ച പെയിൻറ്റിങ്സ് ആണ് ഇതിന് ചുറ്റും എക്സിബിഷനായിട്ട് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അത് അങ്കിളും നെഫ്യൂമാണ്. ഹൂ ഇസ് ദി അങ്കിൾ ആൻഡ് ഹൂ ഇസ് ദി ഐ തിങ്ക് Thomas is the nephew and William Daniel is the uncle.
No, Thomas is the uncle.
So okay.
William is the nephew. The nephew is up. Uncle is
Down.
below.
Yeah.
So this is all north, and now you're entering Bengal area. Okay. you can see here also all floral designs. Okay, this is all Indian. You have brackets there. So it's
What a
not
perfection,
yeah, and it's not a very old building. It's just a little over 100 years old. And the entire area, it's 57 acres of land.
How many? 47.
50,
57 acres of land.
5-7 acres of land.
Even today.
Even today. And of course the
And this is the only building that stays in this 57 acre. Right?
absolutely. There's not another one with this big an area. Okay. I don't think it's possible also in a city like Kolkata anymore. You don't get residential flats anymore inside the city. You can maybe go out in the outskirts and buy something, but getting a flat here right now,
Impossible.
it's close to
Maybe only Shah
impossible.
Rukh Khan can get one.
Yeah. He can get a flat anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So Robert Clive, as we know him,
Yeah.
and he's of course the villain of the British Empire in India's history.
This guy is the villain. നമ്മുടെ വില്ലനാണ് ബ്രിട്ടീഷ് എംപയറിലെ
So all of them are villains,
Yeah.
but one of the bigger villains. So this is a theodolite. So it was used by Captain Everest, on whom the Mount Everest was named after, George Everest.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it was used by him.
Captain Everest, right?
So George Everest
ജോർജ്
is his
എവറസ്റ്റിന്
name.
ശേഷമാണ് മൗണ്ട് എവറസ്റ്റിന് പേര് കിട്ടിയേക്കുന്നത്. ഇത് എത്ര പേർക്ക് അറിയാം അല്ലേ? So Captain Everest, you can just continue. Yeah.
So this was used and that's on display at the
Actually,
museum.
what is this used for? For filming, right?
No, to measure the different latitude and longitude, the height.
ഞാനിത് കണ്ടപ്പോൾ വിചാരിച്ചത് സിനിമയുടെ ഫിലിം റോൾ ചെയ്തു പണ്ട് സിനിമ കാണിച്ചിരുന്ന
So
മെഷീൻ.
trigonometrical survey.
Okay. But this is actually to measure the longitude and latitude of any place, and this is how Mount Everest got named after Captain Everest, George Everest. Am I right?
George
Yeah,
Everest.
thank you. And this one is also similar, right?
Yeah.
ഇതാണ് പണ്ടത്തെ സർവേ, ടോട്ടൽ സ്റ്റേഷൻ സർവേ. പണ്ടത്തെ എഞ്ചിനീയർമാർ സർവേക്ക് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിരുന്നതാണ്. തെറ്റിദ്ധരിക്കരുത്, സിനിമ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതോ സിനിമ ഫിലിം കമ്പനിയായിട്ടോ ഇതിന് യാതൊരു ബന്ധവുമില്ല. Yeah. We are moving to the gallery of
So this is the Biplobi Bharat Gallery. Okay. So all about Indian again social reformers.
It's called Biplobi Bharat. Why
Or-
it is
so
what is Biplobi?
So it means a revolutionary, somebody
Revolutionary.
who fights back, like
fights
a Biplobi, a fighter, a person who is resilient to an opposing force, stands for the right thing. So it's a Bengali word,
Okay,
Biplobi.
Biplobi.
Okay,
Biplobi.
Biplobi, or it's called the National Leaders Gallery. So you will find a lot of information and stories about people who took part in India's freedom movement. But a lot of their names were not, maybe mentioned as much. So, you always hear about Mahatma Gandhi.
The
of course.
unsung heroes.
Yeah, the unsung heroes, right.
Yeah, I'm so fond of unsung heroes.
So you can just show them this.
Wow.
So this was inaugurated by the Prime Minister through a video conference.
Oh, this is air conditioned. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the most loved gallery.
Okay. Because
One being, of course, because of the social reformers, freedom fighters, and the other one being It's because it's air conditioned. So entirely all about the freedom fighters, you can see. So you have Onushilan Shamiti. So it's a little bit about Onushilan Shamiti, the dates, all of that is given. So they used to tell people, the British, that they were like a fitness club. Okay, like a gym. They used to recruit people.
So that's why it's called the Samiti.
They used to recruit people and teach them, young children, teach them how to make bombs, how to fire guns, all of that. Okay. So this was their emblem and this was their motto.
നമ്മളുടെ ഇന്ത്യയുടെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ആർമി എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. കാരണം ഇവർ കുട്ടികളെ റിക്രൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഫ്രീഡം ഫൈറ്റിങ്ങിന് വേണ്ടി പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്ത അനുശീലൻ സമിതിയാണ് 1902. So proud. Standing in this place, I remember all the fellow freedom fighters who have sacrificed their life to make this India. Let's not make it better for the coming up generation because ഒരുപാട് ആൾക്കാർ ജീവൻ കൊടുത്തും ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്തും നമുക്ക് നേടിത്തന്ന സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിൻ്റെ റിഫ്ലക്ഷൻസാണ് നിങ്ങളിവിടെ കാണുന്നത്. ആ ഫ്രീഡം ഒന്നും വെറുതെ ആയി പോകരുത്. അവർ നമുക്ക് ഫ്രീഡം നേടി തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ വരുന്ന ജനറേഷന് എന്താണ് നേടിക്കൊടുക്കുന്നത്? ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ബിഗ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ.
So you can just read about this a little bit, the Alipur bomb case. So there was a plan to assassinate this man.
Andrew Fraser.
So he was the
and the
magistrate.
and the magistrate
yeah.
Douglas and the magistrate Douglas.
So Andrew
It's not
Fraser.
Douglas. At that time they said Douglas. Yeah.
So there are a lot of spellings like Bihar was spelled as Bihar, D-E. Even Chhattisgarh, they had different spellings.
Yeah.
Okay.
This Douglas Kingsford name is very familiar. Did he die?
No, actually he was trying to get assassinated, but instead two women were killed. So I'll tell you. So there's a very ironical story behind this. So Andrew Fraser's statue is there on the eastern side of the memorial, and you have a story about him trying to get assassinated by Indians in this gallery. So do you see the irony? So of the past and the present. Okay, what's being shown and what's there. So of course they cannot uproot the statue. Okay, it's a part of history. So a lot of people from different states, different countries actually come and say that aren't you upset that this is being showcased with so much pride? And so it's a mixed emotion, you know. One, it's a part of history. You cannot erase history. You learn so much from it. And the other one being, it's not something that we show with pride. It's something that we teach people that this has happened to you. And this is how things unfolded in the past. Okay?
Alipur bomb case. That is Barindra Ghosh.
So Barindra Ghosh is Sri Aurobindo Ghosh's brother. Okay? And so Pondicherry is known for Aurobindo Ghosh. So he settled there in the later stages of his life.
But then later it was Douglas Kingsford and Mr. Andrew assassinated?
No.
Lucky guys.
So
So that is Barindra Ghosh.
Barindra Ghosh.
This is
You saw a picture of this, a painting of this man in the gallery downstairs. Social reformers.
Oh, yeah.
You said there's a lot of boasts.
yeah.
So that's him again. Very young. So he was just 18 when he was given the death penalty.
It's only 18.
Absolutely.
Day to day 18, 19 kids are eating burgers, drinking Pepsi.
Kids
Somebody was
aided.
fighting, somebody was fighting for India.
Absolutely.
What a
So the priorities were very different. And even I feel the generation, like my parents' generation, they had a very different outlook, approach towards life. Even at my age, people my age are very laid back, you know. They don't.
See, the thing is like, there are certain comfort from the future people had taken. And from the past, people have provided. You are in a comfort because from the past, they have been provided. My question is, do you have something for the future? There is where your comfort will get disturbed because we are not preparing for the future. We are borrowing from the future, which is literally alarming. that India, most of the states will become an old age home. Because once you get educated, you will run to the places
Which
where the
offer
future,
better, yeah.
where the future is being preserved, procured, and comfortable. So this place will become a cannibal state or a.
Yeah, I mean, there's truth to that.
You just look into it. 10 years before, you
Absolutely.
can have a fresh catch fish and eat it from the. You can drink the river water. But 10 years from now, are you preparing for your generation that they can drink the river water? But you say
So
Greece.
they'll have canned fish. Everything is frozen, everything is bad.
But you go to Greece, you go to England, you go to any other place, they can drink fresh water. You go to Switzerland, the Swiss water is very famous even today, even yesterday, and even tomorrow. ആ കാണുന്നത്, ആ മുകളിൽ കാണുന്ന ഡോമിന് മുകളിൽ കാണുന്ന പ്രതിമ ബ്രോൺസിൽ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നതാണ്. അത് 15 തൊട്ട് 20 കിലോമീറ്റർ സ്പീഡിൽ കാറ്റടിക്കുമ്പം അത് ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി കറങ്ങും. വാട്ടർ ടെക്നോളജി. അത് മാത്രമല്ല, ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ലൈറ്റ്നിങ് പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ ഫ്രം ദിസ് ബിൽഡിംഗ്. അപ്പോൾ അത് ബ്രോൺസിൽ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ക്വീൻ വിക്ടോറിയയുടെ വിഗ്രഹമാണ് നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നത്. ഈ കേട്ടതെല്ലാം ക്വീൻ വിക്ടോറിയയുടെ കഥകളും ഈ പാലസിൻ്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിലിങ്ങുമാണ്. വീണ്ടും ഇതേ കണക്കത്തെ വീഡിയോയുമായി നിങ്ങളോടൊപ്പം ഷെഫ് നളൻ.